This is the story of my friend Susan, a gifted young doctor working in a busy hospital in the city. Susan cares deeply about her patients, but she works too hard, and as her friend, I'm always telling her she needs to get out, enjoy life more, and find someone to love. One day, a handsome young man's admitted after attempting to commit suicide. Susan is moved by his loneliness, which she's no stranger to herself. Soon the young man recovers and he and Susan begin seeing each other. Rick seems to understand Susan, and as their feelings grow, they become lovers. But Susan's happiness is short-lived. Rick is a drug addict and becomes violent. Susan's world is turned upside down. She realises that it's time for a change. So she volunteers to go and work in India, caring for children, and puts Rick behind her. Susan finds India a thrilling and challenging experience. The total change of culture, sights, sounds and smells is just what she needs, and she embraces her new job with dedication and passion. But the hospital is in a very poor area, with overcrowded wards, out-of-date equipment and facilities, and difficult working conditions. Susan is required to use all her skills and knowledge, and adjusts to suit her present situation. The staff and patients are grateful and pleased that Susan has come to them. One day a boy is brought to the hospital after falling from a tree and becomes paralysed. Susan realises there's nothing she can do to help him, which causes her terrible sadness and doubts about her faith. If God wanted her to be a healer, then why couldn't she help this boy? Soon afterwards, Susan is caught up with an uncle who's a priest and visiting India. She seeks comfort and validation, but her uncle's stern and archaic views on women in the church and gay people only make her feel lonelier and more confused than ever. Susan continues to question her faith as she travels to a small hotel by the sea. There, while watching a glorious sunset on the beach, Susan's faith is renewed as she realises that God is all around her. She decides to leave India and continue her spiritual journey, and takes a job as a crew member on a yacht. Susan enjoys the freedom of being at sea and for the first time finds joy in simply being alive. Feeling renewed and ready to work as a doctor again, Susan arrives at a small Pacific island where there's a mission hospital in need of a doctor. The island is beautiful, its people are happy, and Susan's work is challenging. She feels she makes a difference and thanks God. But soon, Susan is called home after the death of her parents in an accident. Susan remembers them as they were on the day she left for India and grieves, knowing she'll never see them again. In time, Susan feels like taking positive steps to end her lonely, single existence. She answers an ad in the personal columns, and for a brief moment, it seems that fortune has smiled on her. But he never calls again, and she becomes depressed. Her dreams become tormented with images of committing suicide by walking up to a high bridge and jumping off. The next morning, Susan takes a long walk and sees an old crucifix in a thrift shop window. Susan feels anger rise. How could he have abandoned her? But then she sees the Christ figure come alive and she falls to her knees. Susan realises that Christ is in her heart always, and in that moment she finds peace and the will to go on, trusting in God to show her the way.